Now, if we can break this down for y'all, giving y'all a little bit more intel. Kyler Murray got Joy $189 million guaranteed. So
89.5.
Kyler got it.
Right.
Don't forget about that.
That's right.
Don't forget about the 0.5. So Kyler got $189.5 million guaranteed. Deshaun Watson got $230. Allegedly, Lamar Jackson turned down what was more than that of Kyler Murray, but still not fully guaranteed. Is it disrespectful, LeSean McCoy, to turn that money down? Is it disrespectful for the Ravens to offer Lamar Jackson a non-fully guaranteed contract?
Yeah, it's disrespectful. It's very disrespectful. First of all, we talked about last segment about the Cowboys. A guy like Action Jackson, look at his team, right? They don't have a whole bunch of superstars on offense. He's still winning games. So the longer you wait and play this game and disrespect one of the best quarterbacks in the league, a former MVP, you keep playing this game, the number goes up and up and up. So my thing is, hey, if Deshaun Watson got $200+ million guaranteed, why can't I? I'm younger. I'm better. I'm making sure your team wins, your franchise wins. When people come in the stands, they see Action Jackson number 8. So please, stop playing this game and pay this guy.
Joy, do you think that the Ravens are disrespecting Lamar Jackson?
Yes, if the reported numbers are true. So yesterday, the report was around 160 to 180 million that he allegedly turned down. So we'll operate off of those numbers. If that's true, yes, because ain't no way I'm taking less guaranteed money than Kyler Murray with a league MVP and a playoff win. That's not happening. I firmly believe that the right number for Lamar is 200 million guaranteed. And when you look at the market, that is actually fair. There's a lot of concerns about, he's a dual threat quarterback. What's he going to be in 7 years? You don't have to worry about that. If you do a deal where he's 200 million, essentially it's 50 million a year for the next 4 years. That's the deal that you're doing when that money runs out, which is the market right now for Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray. You got to be somewhere in between Deshaun Watson and Kyler Murray. We have the numbers up here now. 161 million guaranteed for Russell Wilson, which actually I personally feel is kind of low, but that's his deal. Kyler Murray, 189.5, and then you have Deshaun Watson at 230 million. Everybody has a drop number, right? The organization has a drop number, and Lamar Jackson has a drop number, meaning I'm not going to go below this number, and the organization, I'm not going to go higher than this number, because then it becomes a point of diminishing return. Now, I'm actually losing money and losing value by paying you so much money. Every business has this operation when you are negotiating. Right. So to me, I don't believe that the owners are going to start paying out $230, $250 million guaranteed to franchise quarterbacks. Mostly because if he's out, the season is over. It's almost too valuable of an asset to pay that much to. So I think that the number is around 200 million. You can't ignore what Deshaun Watson got, but if you're paying Kyler Murray 189.5, I got to be somewhere in between.
Yeah, I think it gets convoluted, and not to bring everything back to Dak. I'm sorry, Shane. I was around that for so long, and you just hear so many numbers. You hear what the Cowboys want you to think they offered. You hear what Dak wants you to think they offered, and it's the same thing going on with the Ravens and Lamar. I don't think they're disrespecting him if Lamar's like, I want more than Watson or I'm out. That's not disrespectful.
Right.
If you are shorting him on Murray's number, or even really if you're only sort of bumping him above Murray, that's disrespectful too, because I'm like, I've done a hell of a lot more in this league than Kyler Murray has.
Right.
I think Joy said it perfectly. I don't think he's going to get the Watson deal, because the more and more we talk and think about this, the stupider and stupider that looks by the Cleveland Browns.
It was desperate.
Yeah, very. And like we've said a few times, the Ravens are not a desperate team. They're still probably going to need, I think, to hit 200 million. I think they've got to put him at a number that is significantly more than what the next best guy has, which is Kyler Murray right now. 200 sounds good to me.
The problem, though, Shady, for me as a former player, and I know you know better as a former player that got a ton of money, Lamar can't get less than Deshaun. Like, I don't think he will sign for less than Deshaun. I don't think so. We've seen it. Right? Jay Glazer reports that he got more guaranteed than Kyler Murray. So we already know, based upon our own report, he got more guaranteed than Kyler. And he still said no. I would say no, too. Right. Because if I am better than a quarterback by literally every statistical metric except for gross passing yardage, and Lamar Jackson is better than Deshaun Watson by statistical metrics outside of gross passing yardage, if I am better than a quarterback in literally every statistical metric, I'm younger. I have a unanimous MVP. I have more games won, just as many playoff games won. If I'm better in every statistical metric, you got to pay me more, right? Period. I think anything outside of that is gross disrespect, potentially, or at minimum, it will be taken as disrespect by Lamar.
Now, I agree with you. I mean, but the biggest thing is, like, it's slotted. That's my thing. Is like, this is what the slot is. This is what the market is. Listen, you got $2, right? Okay, you got 3, you got 4. I'm better than all y'all. This example. If I'm better than all y'all, I deserve 5.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, why y'all making it such a big deal? Because y'all don't want to pay the market? That's not my problem. And real quick, them owners all talk. When Deshaun Watson got that deal, you don't think they talked with the other owners?
Yeah, of course.
They talked.
Oh, no. I think they made that deal. They made that offer. And the other owners said, y'all messed up,
What
kindly.
on earth are you doing?
Y'all done messed up. And we are not about to support this because the numbers do go up every year. So what happens when Justin Herbert's up? $260 million guaranteed? What happens when Joe Burrow's up?
See,
$300 million guaranteed?
That's how it works. That's how it works in every sport. That's how it works.
But they have a salary cap in the NFL. So the issue is, at what point does paying that then completely eliminate you from contention, which is the whole point of locking up your quarterback? So I'm not arguing on behalf of the owners. I'm just saying, sometimes you be around wealthy people, they like to do things to make sure that they keep their wealth. So they're not going to follow suit with the Browns unless someone makes them do it.
Bingo.
But does Lamar have enough leverage to make them do it?
So that's
a lot of
point.
leverage.
The point is, nobody is going to do something, an owner, unless you make them do it.
That's right.
We saw Aaron Rodgers. He had to threaten retirement for the Packers to give him what he wanted.
Or the GM. He said, I need to fire this GM.
Both cases. You saw Kyler Murray. He removed every association with the Arizona Cardinals to get what he wanted. You saw Jalen Ramsey. We saw what he had to do to get out of Jacksonville to become the highest paid.
Aaron Donald.
Derwin James. Aaron Donald, to your point of threatening retirement. Great players typically have to force owners' hands, but Lamar Jackson is not forcing their hand, and until, to me, he forces their hand, I do not think he can get what he wants to get done. Dave, who do you think, at least at this junction in time, is winning the standoff?
Lamar Jackson's gonna win the standoff. I'm gonna just stay firm on that until I'm proven wrong. The quarterback always gets paid. It's the most important position in the sport. All of the bluster, all of the back and forth, not just in this negotiation, but in every other one I can remember, the quarterback gets what he wants. The Ravens are 1-0. They're probably going to win a few more games. They looked, I know it was the Jets, but they looked pretty good yesterday. He's going to put them in contention. He's 25 years old. He's got the credentials. He's going to win this. Like I said last week, it's just a matter of when.
I do think Lamar Jackson's going to get paid. But, Joy, I don't think it's going to be the Ravens that end up doing the paying. Because the Ravens are sitting here saying, look, we're not paying you $230 guaranteed. We're just not. And Lamar's like, look, I want $230 guaranteed. I just do. Something's got to give. Where do you stand on the standoff?
Right now, the Ravens are winning because they're getting Lamar on the cheap, and they're letting the season play out. Whether we want to say it this way or not, he is betting on himself. He was injured last year. God forbid, obviously, but injuries happen. If that is what you're risking here. Look what just happened to Dak Prescott. This happens all the time. So if that happens back-to-back years, it's not just the Ravens he's going to have to worry about. It's the rest of the league as well. So there are things at risk here. The Ravens are risking that he goes and wins a Super Bowl, and they do have to pay him $230, $250 million guaranteed. And Lamar is risking as well. That's why they're trying to get the deal done. I do think that it's hung up on the guaranteed money. You're right. He's going to win eventually. But if they play the franchise tag game, I don't know that either one of them actually win. Because what are you going to replace Lamar Jackson with if he leaves after that franchise tag game? We saw it happen with Washington Commanders. They played that game with Kirk Cousins. They've had 11 different quarterbacks since Kirk Cousins left. That's crazy. Now, you can argue, would I rather be the Vikings or the Commanders? I would absolutely rather be the Vikings.
Every time.
Absolutely
Not even close.
Be paying Kirk Cousins what is now a pretty reasonable rate. You know exactly who your guy is. You know exactly what you need to put around him. You have branding. You have people knowing who the franchise quarterback is when you drive around the city. That matters to teams. The Commanders have been a mess. They've been a disaster. They might have Carson Wentz now. We won't even get into that, how that game went yesterday.
He did good.
The point is, I don't like the franchise tag game for Lamar or for the Ravens.
But here's what's fascinating, and we'll put a pin in this and return to it. The most fascinating part of this all is Lamar Jackson, if he was offered $130, $150, $180 million guaranteed, the Ravens are like, look, we got guaranteed money for you. We just ain't got $230 million worth of guaranteed money for you. I understand that Lamar Jackson wants that Deshaun Watson deal, but every game he plays, I don't think he's making money. I actually think he's just running the risk of losing money. Because, Lamar, you can't get better than unanimous MVP. That's my thought process.
Yeah, you could win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but even...
Yeah, big if. You could.
I mean, but that's what they're trying to do. That's the risk that the Ravens are running here, is that if he goes and wins a Super Bowl MVP, or for that matter, wins another league MVP, they lose whatever leverage they have. Then they are going to have to run him that check.
Yep. That's too far, though. I don't think he has to go to the Super Bowl to get paid. To get his,
no.
Yeah, go to the playoffs. Go to the playoffs.
He's been.
Yeah, but
He's been.
Other teams see that the same way how the Browns, which the Browns are very extreme, but they made that stretch. We got Deshaun Watson. You know, we put him with this team, right? The things he could do for us, where he could take us. Other teams are saying the same thing. If Lamar Jackson can do that for that team, the Ravens, that roster's not that great. My team will win.
I don't know that Lamar Jackson can prove to be any more valuable than he's already proven to be. Last year, the Ravens were the 1 seed with like 6 games remaining. Lamar Jackson goes down, they fall all the way out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Isn't beauty in the eye of the beholder? I mean, all it took was the Browns to say that Deshaun Watson was worth $230 million guaranteed. By the way, it gets lost in all of the off-field stuff. Deshaun Watson's resume, also nowhere near as good as Lamar Jackson's. I know they have the tag, so it gets convoluted. Let that dude right there hit the open market and see what somebody who's been begging for a quarterback might do.
Philly.
It's going to be a long time until he can hit the open market if they play that tag game.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.